I need to meet.
Oh, yeah, I need to wait for this person.
I wanted to wait.
Getting late. Yeah, no,
Are
it has
you
been
at work?
fun.
I think
Who, me?
Mr. Kanjiro, are you at work?
No, I'm somewhere. I'm somewhere where I had a meeting. I just finished with my meeting.
Oh, okay, no
Yeah.
problem. No problem, because we have gone live now. So
Okay.
people can see us. And then we'll just wait for Jerry and the other two guys, or one of them, then we kick off.
All right.
I'm going to mute my mic a little bit. I don't know how I'm gonna put. All right, we have about 3 people on the chat. We have about 3 people on the chat. Jerry will be joining us. If I can call the other person as well. What's this? 55 p.m. Oh, there we go. There is the third person.
I'm doing this process.
Hi. Oh, great. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great, 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 great. Let's just wait for one more person, then we begin, okay? I'm quickly just contacting the.
All right.
Okay.
My name is Wayne.
All right, gentlemen, I think we can begin. If they come, they'll just join us, okay? So we're gonna start our live show. If possible, if you are able to share it out with friends so that they can join in, we can hear from their insights as well. Um, do that, share it out, and let them come through, okay? So just share it out. Good evening and good evening to everybody on the chat. I see that we have about 5 people on the chat that have joined us. And the topic says, why is Rundu neglected? So that is that we'll be discussing today. Whether it's neglected, whether there's something that is going on that we do not know of, we're gonna hear from the gentlemen that have joined me tonight. So the reason why I came up with this topic, just to give you a brief, introduction, and I also believe that there are some people that might be here right now watching us who are not from Namibia, who are not from Rundu, so they might be wondering what is going on, what is she talking about. So first of all, to start with, Rundu is a town in the northern east of Namibia. It used to be the capital city of Kavango East before, when the region was not divided. But now we have two regions, Kavango East and Kavango West. So it is the capital of Kavango East, I should say. So that's Rundu. It's located in the northern east of Namibia, for those of you that have never been to Namibia or that have never heard about the town. So why do I say, or why do I ask a question, why is Rundu neglected? Okay. I grew up in Rundu. I wasn't born in Rundu, but I grew up in Rundu. So before I moved to Windhoek, of which I didn't move permanently anyways, because I still go back home. That is where I come. So before I came to Windhoek, I would go every December. I would go in December, for holidays and stuff. So this December, I happened to go there this December, and I had a guest that I had to take there. So, as somebody from Rundu, actually, as we drove from Windhoek up to Rundu, my guest was telling me, "Oh, Namibia is beautiful. Namibia has beautiful towns." Until I got to Rundu, guys. I got to Rundu, and my guest was asking me, "Is this also Namibia?" And I asked why. And my guest said, it looks neglected. It doesn't look like all the towns in Namibia. All the towns that we've passed through are very beautiful, well taken care of, until we get to Rundu. Okay, I think he has muted his mic. Thank you very much, Mr. Ganjilo, for that. So until we and yeah, my guest was asking if that was Rundu. Why is it neglected? And the left, nothing has been done. So that's why I brought up this topic, and I decided let's consult a few people that I feel have insights, come through and perhaps, discuss the issue of development, our town of Rundu. Why does it look stagnant? Why? And a lot of people are basically asking this question: why is it stagnant? Why is it very slow? Or why is there no development at all? Why is asking? Is it neglected? Who is responsible? Who is to be blamed? Who is neglecting it? Who should we, hold accountable? Talk about this. So before I begin, or before we begin, I would like you guys to introduce yourself to our viewers. So I will start with Jerry. I know the names are appearing on the screen, but it would be great to also introduce yourself and say which organization you're coming from, or perhaps what do you do. I hope you guys have heard me, and because it looks like we have got network issues. Jerry?
No,
Hello?
I start.
Yes,
Yeah,
can you
no,
start? Start with your
let
intro.
Mr. Jerry go first.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Yo, okay. I think we have network issues.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear my name is Kawango, born and bred in by we ended up somewhere along the highway in town. I like to consider myself as a community activist,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a full paid up membership. I have a full paid up membership for property. Um, and same
I think your network is cutting a
yes.
little bit.
Let me move. I'll give forward to my
Okay,
friend
okay,
Jilu while I move. I think
okay.
that's one I'll have
All right. I think while you move, all right, Mr. Kanjilu can while you move. Mr. Kanjilu,
Yeah, no,
over
thank
to
you
you.
very much. And we would like to thank you so very much for coming up with this initiative. It's very important that we begin to start engaging in such type of conversation. Rundu indeed was seen by the unfortunate visitor that perhaps had to ask you why is Rundu neglected. I'm Franz Kanjilu and a resident of Rundu for a very long time, and we have seen how Rundu has been stagnant if compared to other towns or regions. So I think more shall come out as we are going to get
Mm-hmm.
in depth of the conversation. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very
So
much.
somebody is saying that they can't hear our guest properly. I think that's ready. All right. So somebody has joined us. That is Moyo. I'm going to ask Moyo to just quickly give us a quick introduction of who he is and what he does. And then after that, I will go back to Jerry. You are welcome, Mr. Moyo.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's a first of its kind. I'm very much happy to take part of this program.
I think Jerry has
I just
Moyo.
hope
Can
it
you
will
hear
last.
me? All right.
Much for welcoming me. So
All right.
it's a first of its kind that I'm taking part of. My
Mm-hmm.
name is Karemo. Yeah, my name is Karemo Franz Boyo. I'm simply a youth activist and some other social activists as well. So yeah, politically, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you want to know. I'm Swapo, of course, even though I criticize my party, but I'm Swapo. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us. We have 7 amazing people watching us. So if you
Yeah.
are watching us, please do say hi. Write something in the chat, okay? Write something in the chat. When we begin, your questions are welcome. So you can ask any question, or if you have any addition, if you're watching us right now and you have any addition, you are also welcome to do that. I can drop the link later so that you can join us up top and you'll be seen as you give your contribution as well. Okay, so Mr. Moyo, I think you know the background of this live stream, right? I've sent it to you before, why I came up with this kind of discussion, why we are saying, why is Rundu neglected? So let's start with that question. Why is Rundu neglected? Do you think Rundu is neglected, or is it not neglected? What do you think?
Well, okay, for me, the word
If I can
neglected,
start with Mhm.
the word neglected is okay. Well, it's a good point to start with, but then I wouldn't say neglected. Maybe it's more of a recklessness from the leaders, those ones who are in charge currently. It's a thing of people who are in a position of being very neglected, not reject. What is it? What's the word you use again? Uh, 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 okay, I wouldn't say
Neglected. Mhm.
neglected. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's neglected, but then our own people, they are somehow very much, very much reckless. It's a thing of a relaxed mind that has gone into a comfort zone of not doing what one has to do. Yeah, maybe I should start with that.
So you wouldn't say that
Yeah.
it's neglected. So in other words, you are saying you are putting the blame on our own people that are leaders. Like you are saying, you are talking about the current leaders in charge. Are you trying to say that those who were in charge previously were doing a great job until it got to the current leaders in charge?
No,
Are we
my
saying the
lady. Check.
responsibility lies with current leadership? Uh-huh. Yeah, just make
Uh,
us understand
no,
there.
okay. I'm saying um, from those who were there. Let me say those who were there first made it worse for those ones who are in now. The previous, even previous and
Mhm.
previous administration made it very worse for the ones that are in at this current moment. So I think there is a culture which was invented in the previous administration, which is being very much difficult to abolish at this moment by the ones that are in. That's my observation.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So the that
yeah.
culture remains there that the people that are being put in power currently just follow suit. That's what you're trying to say.
Exactly.
If I understood you right. All
Yeah.
right. All right. So we move to Mr. Kanjilu. What are your thoughts on that? Why is Rundu neglected? Or are we perhaps using a wrong word? Shouldn't we say neglected, perhaps?
Yeah, no, thank you very much for the opportunity. As an aspiring politician and a very concerned resident of Rundu, I would like to take it from this angle. It is very right for the visitor that had questioned why is Rundu neglected. That word is very much right and suitable for his situation as a visitor. But as for us, the residents of Rundu, a neglected word will not really suit in this scenario, because we all know that nobody neglects Rundu, but our own leaders are less interested in making sure that Rundu is at par with other towns. I say this because such question is not really coming for the first time, because many people have already questioned whether the national leadership neglects Rundu or not. But at times, some national leaders came in and said, no, it is not that maybe Rundu is being neglected, but the very own leaders of Rundu or Kavango at large are the ones that should be questioned. And which is true from the look of things, because I don't think Rundu is neglected, but our leaders are not working. And having said that, it is very important that we could also have maybe specific leaders who are currently in offices that were supposed to take part in this type
All
of
right.
discussion, because they are really indeed the ones that should be questioned. It's not about being neglected. No, Rundu is not neglected, but the leaders in Rundu are not working. I would take it in that way. Mm.
The one. All right. Thank
Hello?
you so much for your contribution. Back on, Jerry, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Jerry, hello.
Yes,
Yes.
guys, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hey, Jerry, I think you can just do quickly your introduction and then. All right. Yes, perfectly. We can hear you perfectly now.
Okay.
If you can just incorporate everything in one introduction and then, of course, the question is, yeah.
Okay. Like I said earlier before I got interrupted with the technology, my name is Jerry Kawiu, born and raised in Rundu. I'm currently employed by AMTA, and I also mentioned the fact that I'm a full paid up SWAPO membership. The views that I express at times, or the views that I'm going to express here, are not necessarily of the party, but of my own opinion based. I always say it's Rundu first before everything else. I'm at home, so you must apologize the chaos and the background noise that is going to come by. Okay. Why is Rundu
No
neglected?
problem. Yeah.
Yeah. uh, the neglect is there. I listened to Mr. Kanjilo saying that Rundu is not neglected, it's just the leaders that are. Rundu, the neglect is there. That neglect boiled back or boiled now down to the whole community, and it has become a culture that even the residents themselves have a tendency of neglecting their social responsibilities that we are supposed to at least have as a resident of this town. Simple example should be about tidiness. Why is Rundu dirty if we do not have neglect? People just throw things around because they don't have a conscience that is telling them to take ownership of this town anymore. So the neglect is there. And the major reason that we have is we have allowed these things to become normal. It has become now a norm in town or a norm in Rundu for all these things to happen the way they do happen without holding anyone accountable. Dating back from the very first time that we had the administration after independence, the time that we had our independence, there had always been issues where people come into office and there's not actually much that has been done to actually hold people accountable for the actions that they do take in office. It doesn't make any sense for us now to sit and then look at only one part of the ship, which is the captain. We should look at the crew, the people that are also part of the steering of this Rundu ship itself. There are certain things that I feel I should give my fellow panel to actually touch on before I actually come back to them, because as you understand, the opinions obviously might be mine, and I would like us to engage further before I conclude with some of the things that I wanted to mention. But for now, I think I'll pack it there, and then I'll tell you that the neglect is there. It's in all of us. It's in each and every one of us. It's not a blame that we have to give the government. We'll break it down further as we go.
All right. Really for your contribution. So we have about 7
Yeah.
amazing people in the house. I'm just going to read a few comments that are made by the people that are in the chat. Kamal is saying if Rundu's Rundu's potential is properly harnessed, you have no idea how much such
The
a
network
beautiful
is
region can generate to Namibian. If you look at our town, it's very beautiful. I feel like it could be currently a tourist attraction, but if we could do more, it would even attract more tourists to the region. I think this is what Kamal is trying to say. And then Jacinto says, surely the Rundu Town Council has a vision and a mission. Perhaps leadership can share what challenges are preventing them from working towards those goals. Is it lack of funding or skills? A very good question there. Leadership can share what challenges are preventing them from working towards those goals. Okay, that is a very good question right there. So most of you, or all of you, I should say, at least two of you have mentioned that it is the leaders that are not doing their job. So in other words, if I got you well, you're trying to say that these people are probably sitting in their offices, not doing their job properly. My question is, who is actually there to oversee that? These leaders at regional level are actually doing their job properly, because I am sure that even the people on top have probably visited and they have seen what is happening. So what do you think is happening? Are these people probably not holding the people that are not doing their job accountable, or what exactly do you think is happening there? If we say it is our leaders that are not doing their job properly. Anybody can come through?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I need to come through.
Okay.
All right.
Hello?
Go ahead. No, no. You must understand that when the guys were
Okay,
giving their opinion,
thank you very much.
hold on. You must understand that when the guys were giving their opinion, I wasn't listening, so I need to hear what the guys have to say. Mr. Kanjilu, go ahead.
It's all opinions.
Yeah,
I'm not
no,
saying you guys are experts. Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, thank you very much. And before I dwell much on this, let me also put aside the party where I belong to, which is IPC. Actually, the views that are going to come from me are actually mine, not necessarily have to do with IPC as my political party. Um, it is very good that Mr. Kauyu have touched on saying we need to actually attribute the responsibility of Rundu to everyone. It is true, but for me, I would want to take it a little bit down, where we need to look at who is assigned to do what. And then secondly, I want to go back to the person that asked, the visitor that asked, why is Rundu neglected? The person was looking at exactly what it is that is being neglected. Perhaps we could address it properly in that way, because if we say everybody needs to be responsible, this is where Rundu will go wrong, because there should be somebody responsible first before the community comes in, and there should be somebody
Mm-hmm.
to whom the person needs to report to. Everybody in the office has where to report to, and if that person is not held accountable, it will obviously boil down to the community, which is very wrong. It's too broad. It is vague. It is unaddressable if we do it that way. So we need to look at it in that manner, because like he said, Mr. Kauyu is working for NAPTA, and I'm sure he's running a department which he usually reports to a certain supervisor. And if he's not doing his work, they will not go and ask all the employees. They will first of all ask him, why did he fail here? Maybe we should take it in that direction. Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Franz,
I
would you
think,
like to say something?
I, okay, yeah, yeah. I On the very same point, yeah. Uh, my guy Kauyu. That's how we call each other, my guy.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
people have got a responsibility, like he said. But then I tend to somehow disagree at some point. And the point where I disagree is look let's just look at and use a general example. In our houses, man. In our houses, we have got kids, we have got so on. You understand? If you do not give them orders and do not guide them on how they should take care and be responsible in that house will be a chaos. That means you, as the owner of this house, you as a father, you as an uncle, you are in charge, or the mother, you are in charge of the rules of the house to make sure that in this house you do not do anyhow but follow these rules. Now, in this case, our town council, there
Switch
should be
on.
someone who is responsible of this. For example, the littering. Littering. Who is in charge with littering in town? Do we even know that person? Do we know who really is in charge for community work? Do we see someone in the community giving education regarding littering? We don't see that. We hear them talking, we see them picking up waste, but we do not see anyone in our community giving this education to our ordinary people. Maybe if we start with such, we will then see our people being educated. You understand? For anyone who has known, it's not that they do not know that the Rundu has to be clean. They do know Rundu must be clean. But then someone should be there to remind them. Just the same way that the traffic always reminds us. Traffic always reminds us to put on our seatbelts, reminds us to put on our lights if the lights are not on as it's dark like this. So someone should be there, my guy. Okay, that's my opinion on that part.
All right. So, in
Okay.
other words, you are saying that everybody is not doing their job. The person that oversees that the leaders of the town are doing their job is not reminding them to do their jobs. And then the leaders are not
Exactly.
reminding the citizens, to make sure that they keep the town clean.
Look,
All
look.
right.
Okay, let me
All right.
say,
Um,
say let me just say something.
mhm.
Um, why do we have them? That's the first question. Why do we have them? You
Yeah.
get it?
Yes. No.
Why do
You
we
have
have
you
this
have a
lead?
point.
Why do we
Let me
have the
Yeah,
come
leaders?
let me
yes.
come in. Let me come in on
Right.
that.
Just a moment. Just a moment.
Okay.
All right. Just hold on, Mr. Jerry. I'd like to share.
I I need to get somewhere where there is a light. Where I am, there's no.
Yeah, I can see my darkness is catching up
Especially
on
with the
you.
complexion again, not really see.
Yeah, I cannot see
Mm.
you very well. That's why I had to get
Then
out
I'm
of the
already
car and
dark,
come.
my guy.
That's the problem.
Yeah, yeah. Let me just get somewhere the light.
Are you at the sport field?
Not really, man. I came to get some holy water somewhere, man.
Oh, holy water. Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm in a
Uh,
corner at home. The mosquitoes are they're eating here.
yeah, I think here you can see me.
Oh, are you not standing somewhere where it's dangerous? That looks like a street.
Not really. I'm close to people though.
Oh, there's people. Okay. Don't want you to lose your phone.
Yeah, that's yeah.
You see, Mr. Moyo, get inside your car and switch on the lights.
Yeah.
Ceci, we cannot hear you.
I'm checking my bag, my guy.
Okay.
I think with Ceci the sound is gone.
Yeah. The sound is not there anymore. The sound is not there anymore. Oh.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now.
Hello.
Yes,
Oh,
we
thank
can
God.
hear
Thank God.
you. Thank you.
My network is not good.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Namibia's network is not the same
So I've
as.
shared out the people can hear. So now somebody came through. I don't know if you guys can read the chat. Somebody actually came through and they're saying if the infrastructures are there and the system works, people will comply. So what he is trying to say is that people have to fend for their families, so the blame shouldn't be on them. The blame shouldn't be on people. That is what he's saying. So, Jerry, back to you.
Okay. Thank you very much again for the opportunity. The reason why I say that is
Back to you,
because,
Jerry. Yeah.
yes, I think we need to also start doing this thing in a collective manner. Looking at leadership for them to, or depending on leadership,
Mm-hmm.
or depending on what we call leadership, for them to actually take this down forth. It's not going to happen anytime soon. It's not going to materialize because each and every one of us should become leaders. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. This is how it works. What we expect, or what we have expected, or people that we have expected to actually bring about change. These are now the councillors that comes into a town council that is supposed to have management or that's supposed to have employees. Now, these councillors are supposed to act as board members. These are people that should be able to just oversee what decisions are being taken there, and then for them to also, like, what should I say it, to complement what the staff is already doing. But out of honesty, in the past 25 years, I would say, or 20 years, let's not go very far. In the past 20 years, there has been that little miscommunication between the so board members and the staff that are supposed to actually be on the ground doing things. So if we keep expecting that the new councillors that we vote into whatever are going to bring about change, then we are overseeing the major issue that is there. And the major issue that is on point now is that what is each and every individual in the council's responsibility is. Because now we need to start looking at who is town planning. Why have we gotten a town up to now that does not have a drainage system where water just stands everywhere else? Why don't we have such things? Why don't we have a town landscaper? Why do we have a river close by, but the town is very dry, doesn't have trees and everything in town? Those are some of the things that we need to start looking at, and that should be a responsibility of somebody that is employed in the council that does that each and every single day. You get me? Why don't we have a business development department in the council? Why don't we have people that are supposed to be going out, identifying potential businesses in town, and then developing on them? Those are some of the things that we should be looking at. And where we are now, the reason why we are not going to go where we are going to is because we are fighting the very simple thing that is supposed to be helping us, move this chain along. We are currently in debt. The council is in the people's pockets and it's in the people's hands. Now they've brought up a system where people are being asked to pay for their bills, and we have come up with a resistance to fight this. Of course, yes, maybe the timing of it might be wrong, or maybe the way of bringing it about was wrong. But this just demonstrates to you to see that people are reluctant. People have in this town and then felt like this is supposed to be a place where you get free service, like basic rights, for example, like water and electricity is supposed to be given to you for free. You get me? So we must start looking at these things, that for this town to actually go, each and every one of us needs to play a very vital and important role in making sure that we play our part and then bring this town to the potential that it actually have to be. The neglect is there. The roads are bad. The funds to attend to these roads not there. So whatever it is that needs to happen in this town, one of us needs to start asking ourselves a question: are we doing what we are supposed to be doing to take this town forth? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eddie. Mr. Mo, gentlemen on the panel, I request that we switch off our mic when we are not talking, so that we can have, clear audio, because the noise in the background is disturbing.
Okay.
I just have two questions for you, Mr. Jerry. So you mentioned that the council is in the people's pocket. Can you perhaps elaborate more? When you say the council is in the pocket, what exactly are you trying to say?
No, the council's money, the town council's money is in the people's pocket. It's not.
You mean
the money?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Look, you see, there is a tussle happening now in the city
great.
of Windhoek. Yeah. There is a tussle in the city of Windhoek where the city of Windhoek discuss connecting services to entities that owes them. Reason why is because for it to go forth, it needs to get the revenue from the people. It needs to collect for the service that it rendered. So if we owe town council 640 million, how do you expect them to actually do what they're supposed to be doing? Yes.
So in other words, you are saying the residents owe the town council, and because of that, they are not able to carry out the activities that they are supposed to be carrying out. If I got you correctly, is that what you?
Yes.
All
yes.
right.
That's
so another question
yes.
still on that point. So should, if the people are not, being, when somebody owes you, let me give you a scenario, right? When somebody owes you, let's say you give somebody money, right? And they owe you, and they're not paying back. If you just sit back and relax, do you think that person is going to pay back what you owe?
They will not pay back.
So whose responsibility is it to make sure?
You see,
if you
now
sit
that
back
is
and
where,
relax, they wouldn't pay back, isn't it?
that is where now the problem. That is where politics comes in now. This is where it happens. Town council itself, on its own, had a creditors department. These are the people that are supposed to be calling you. These are the people that are supposed to be doing what Red Force is doing. But now, on the other hand, you have politicians that are also have that interest in the council that are telling you that if you do these things of harassing residents to pay their debts, there might be resistance in electing us. And this is not only one political party. This is all the political parties that have been involved in the council. So they come into the rescue of the residents. Take, for example, when the council was saying that the street vendors have a way of identifying the town, we need to round them up so we can put them at one place. One association that is politically affiliated to the council comes in and say, no, These are our voters. We need to protect them. You get me? That is why now politics and administration should at least have a. They must get a divorce and then be carried out in different, in different platforms, because now they are conflicting each other. You get me? Where we are now, we are conflicting each other. I am a
Okay.
politician and a resident, so now I'm in conflict also. You get me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think Mr. Jilo wanted to say something.
Yes, please. I want to hear what he has to say. Next time I must get better internet. This is cheap.
Mr. Angelo,
Ah,
can you hear us? I don't know who was talking in the background, whether it's Mr. Ganji Moyo. I'm not quite sure.
I think it's Kanjil. I could hear his voice.
So in the meantime, the
He-
people that are watching us, if you'd like to come on top, I saw somebody that came up.
Yeah.
I saw somebody
No,
that
thank
came
thank
up,
you
but
very
when I
much.
left,
And I would like
they
to build
left.
up from where Mr. Kaoyo have ended. It's true. It's true. The council look.
Mm-hmm.
The council looks up to the people for money. The people have the money for council in their pockets, and
Mm,
it has to go back to the previous councils that have been there, who have been watching or letting people owe the council for a very long time, while they have a creditors department who are supposed to engage these people and really find out why is it that they are not paying. That is really true. What Red Force now is doing is what was supposed to be done by town council. Because what's happening is that
yes.
instead of town council collecting everything, they
Mm-hmm.
are going to petition that money again with Red Force, which is on its own is wrong. And then looking at the last point that you mentioned about politics conflicting it itself, one cannot just say we cannot reprimand the street vendors because they are our voters. That is very wrong. If it is an association that is talking about developing the town and bringing that idea, it's wrong. Otherwise, if it was me, I could perhaps ask, why can't we perhaps get a place first, and then that is when we move the people, instead of telling them to stop while we don't have a place for them. Because the whole issue is for us to frustrated residents, but to have a town with happy residents that are being handled as it was supposed to be done. So then, if we are really going to talk about putting or accounting for the town, accountability is something that cannot be transferred. Everybody is assigned with something, and the person needs to account for it. So many leaders are hiding behind the statement of Mr. Kauyu, which
Mm-hmm.
says, are the people doing their part? That for me is very wrong, because many politicians, many leaders hide behind that statement. They tend to relax their duties and then say, what are the people doing? I mean, you are getting a salary, yeah, month in, month out, the salary is always coming. People expect you to do something because you are working within a jurisdiction of work. You have your job description. The question is, are you delivering based on your job description? If it's a no, and then you are proudly coming out and say, are the people doing their part? I mean, an ordinary resident living in Kehemu or in Sauyema, what will that ordinary resident do in order for the roads to be proper when we have somebody who's assigned to do that?
Mm-hmm.
There are specific things that really lie within the jurisdiction of a certain person. That person should come out and pronounce himself. The challenges why I'm not doing my work is this and this, and these questions should be asked by the people they report to. A person like, let's say, the CEO of the town has a person where he needs to report to. But if the person receiving those reports is
Mm-hmm.
not questioning why things are happening like that, and we just keep on escorting the year from January to December, escorting, and we are laughing, we are enjoying who comes in, who goes out, no accountability is being assigned to anybody. Really, this town, we have leaders who don't speak or who don't question their supervisors. For instance, if an employee has a challenge in Rundu, and the supervisor is up there. The probability of this leader not questioning their supervisor is very high, especially in Rundu. Our leaders don't speak up. I don't know whether they are scared of losing their bread or what it is, because people, if something is wrong, it needs to come out so that we know who to assign or who to blame. You are not doing your work. Is it you or is it something else? Come out and tell the people. Politics must be put aside when we need to deliver services for the people. If we are going to get in marriage with politics and we cannot speak because political party A, political party B will discard me. This is why Rundu will always go behind while other towns are going forward. So we need to differentiate between when should we talk about politics, when should we talk about our political affairs, or when should we talk about service delivery. They are two different things. Let's not join the two. I think that is where I need to end for now. Thank you very much.
Interesting points made right there. Interesting, very interesting. So I don't know if France, if you need to add something, can you unmute your mic? Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Where I am, mosquitoes are eating me, but this is the only light I
I'm
have.
telling you.
But
Okay, no problem.
okay.
It's everywhere.
Let's start with the very same point, or let me continue where Jerry and my brother Kanjilu ended. Let's go on the road, for example. Look at Rundu. Rundu roads. Rundu's roads have got nothing to do with the resident being neglected. Rundu's road is full-time in the hands of the town council. And to be honest with you, I'm sitting right in the car. The car I'm sitting into, it's paid for. It's roadworthy, meaning the money that I pay to road fund or road authority goes somehow. Road authority or road fund give money to town council to repair their roads. But with that, I pass by paying for my car. Car that I'm paying for. Now, whom do you blame in this case? Do you blame me that I'm not paying for my car so that the roads can be fixed? No, I pay for this car every year. And then road fund is giving money every year to town council to fix the roads. Now, what does town council spend this money on? Those are still the questions. You understand? And the roads are one of those things that make that gives an image of a town. First of all, roads, water, electricity. But let me focus on the roads, for example, just on the roads. You get it? Maybe I don't pay my water bill. What about the road? Maybe I will end there.
It's good. Good
All
point.
right, so that is the question that has been asked there. If I don't pay my water bill at the roads, paying every year, you have to pay a certain amount for your car, to renew your license and so on. Where is the money going? The money is not enough to be used,
Yeah.
for the maintenance of the roads, or what exactly is happening. Did you want to say something?
Yes. It is. You have a very good point. And my brother Mr. Kanjilu, you also made a very good point that the politicians are hiding behind the statement of saying that the people are not taking up ownership and stuff, which is very true. I just want to give you my perception of where we as the residents. First, I am Rundu resident first before everything else. We as the resident of Rundu, this is some of information that I feel we are being deprived of. Do we know who in the council is responsible for technical things? Maybe Do we know who's in the council responsible for health? Do we know who's council is responsible for marketing? Do we know who's responsible for the roads? Do we know who's responsible for electricity? You get me? So when we know who is supposed to be doing what, then we can be able to know who should we hold accountable for. So it is not only the residents that we should put blame on, or should we put blame on the politician, but we should also understand that there is people that are behind the scenes that are supposed to be delivering, that we don't see coming up to do the delivery that is supposed to actually happen. Now, coming to the point of paying for your, what is it called, for your levies with road funds. Here is where it becomes a problem, when you only pay for the levy for the roads, but you don't pay for the water. The money that they are supposed to use to buy the prepaid units that you are supposed to actually be paying for, the services that town council render to you, that money that they are supposed to use is not coming in anymore. The only revenue that town council receives so far that is consistent is the one that they get from road fund. How do you expect them to continue delivering service to this town when the service that they are rendering for water and the other basic services like sewage and stuff, where do they get the money to continue doing that? That's why you see that money that is supposed to be for the roads, money that is supposed to be for rehabilitating the roads or improving our roads, is being diverted to other sectors that are lacking in funds, because the residents that are supposed to be paying for these things are not coming up. Look, it's a very simple equation, even in business. If you sell eggs and then sell bread at the same time, if the money for the eggs is not coming back in, you start using the money for the bread, so you can be able to sustain, because the eggs are also necessary for the breakfast things that you offer. So if people are only paying for the eggs, and then they are not paying for the bread, next thing that you are going to be doing is money for the eggs is going to pay for the bread, vice versa, and like that. So until we give a council enough sufficient resources to collect the revenue that we owe them, we cannot able to say no, the council is not actually doing its job so far. Yes, maybe there is some few departments in the council that I feel needs to be brought to book, but yeah, so far the lack of fund is rendering them handicapped.
Maybe
Okay,
just there.
interesting.
Maybe just say so.
Yes.
Yeah. Can
Boy, you can go ahead.
Yeah. Maybe just there. Exactly. Now, here is the question. Yeah. How the question is, how do we end up our cars ever without issues? It's because the road fund has made sure, together with the traffic, that if my license disc expires, if my driver's license expires, there is a traffic officer to make sure that my car is up to date. You get it? There is a traffic officer that makes sure that my car is up to date. If it and then the traffic office take my disc or suspend my car, tell me till you and pay for your car, then you come and get your car. You get it? Whatever, for as long as they come across a car that has expired or your driver's license has expired, they will remind you before it expires. So if you do not, they will suspend it, meaning you won't drive a car. You know you are in trouble. So these are the techniques. These are the techniques now that look at now. Town council is ending up using that money because those guys or that department is doing its work. You get it? That department council was not take an example from how others are operating so that they can as well as start doing their job properly.
But it's simple.
Yeah, I ended.
My
All right,
guy.
gentlemen, just right there, before we get to you, Jerry, I would like to read some of the contributions that are given on the chat. So, one says, I guess no accountability in the management affairs of Rundu County, no government supervision, and
Yeah.
Jacinto is equally an up-to-date website. They serve as an online place that the community can use with us for purposes of information distribution, log, as well as queries and it. Kamal says, I don't understand what that guy is saying. I think that was Jerry. Has he ever been poor or suffering in his life? How do you expect a poor person or poor people who barely feed their children to keep paying, I guess, for water and other things? So let's move on. I think we are behind and the discussion is very interesting. Before we move on to the last part, I think Jerry wanted to say something. We have lost Mr.
Yes.
Did you want to say something?
Yes, I wanted to just emphasize. Yes, of course. It's not that the council has been reluctant in terms of punishing or putting measures in place to make sure that people are paying for the services. They have done that many times where people water or whatever was disconnected. But you know what happens when the council does that. That's why I said politics also comes in. When the administrators of the town decide that they are going to do this connecting of water at residential areas, councillors comes in and then say, no, you cannot do this. This is basic rights for the people. So it's difficult. I'll tell you that it's difficult because not all politicians think alike. But the concept that we have that the council should final decision should lie in the hand of a politician, I feel it becomes a problem because when it comes to administering things that involve finance,
all right,
it's yeah, no, let me pack it there. Let me pack it.
all right. So, gentlemen, if I analyze everything we have said so far, I've gathered about 3 points. The first one is that we see that there is no accountability. For example, people do not are reluctant. If I go to World Mr. Kanjilu to report to the everybody has their boss, isn't it? Or either their boss are not doing the job, to overlook and to oversee what exactly is happening in their department. And you also mentioned that we do not know who's responsible for a certain sector in the council, who's responsible for roads, so there's not that information. So there's that lack of information. And then you mentioned about we can't mix administration with politics. So it seems like some of these leaders that we put in power are only interested in their stocks, all right? So they don't actually put pressure on the responsible people, especially the residents, because they feel like if we do this, who is going to vote for us? So they are interested in being leaders so that they can benefit from leadership. For as long as they have something in their stomachs, they relax and leave the people that have put them in power suffer. So what can we do as residents now? Or what do you think should be the solution to these kind of issues that we've mentioned? What should we do to make sure that everybody is responsible? Is there something that can be done perhaps? Is there something that we are not doing as residents?
I would like to come in. For me, in terms of service delivery, I respect what accountability stands for. When we don't account for anything, nothing moves forward. we'll just be going around the same point. Accountability is very, very important. So if we are to focus on the way forward, I would venture to suggest that the council begins to engage the communities, because when we talk about the council and them depending on the community for their funds, they need to be more transparent. They need to be more open to the people, because there's no way they can be collecting money from the residents, and yet they withhold certain information that the people perhaps want to know. It is important, for example, to have community meetings where the council discuss problems of each community, so that from there they can at least see where they can start from, and they should account for such activities. Let's start, for instance, if they engage a certain community that has a problem of water, the person responsible should take note of that. They should give themselves a time frame where they need to look at, okay, the day we collected this information in this, today we need to report on how far have we gone. That is accountability. We need to make sure that we are not just there for politics. Because as for me, I would take off my head for people who are chased for telling the truth. Because when you say I'm here for service delivery and yet you are scared to speak because you might be chased, it means you are not really there for what you have said first. You are actually there for your bread, nothing else. Because we need people who need to sacrifice. Leadership is sacrifice. You need to be there for the people. For people to live well, there should be somebody suffering in their place. But then, if such people are not available, Rundu will not go anywhere. The council need to start going to the people, because they should work based on what people
Mm.
need, nothing else. And when we talk about collecting revenue, it is a business and it's a formula. I mean, service must be made available, and I, as a resident, need to be happy for me to pay for the service. If you look at the condition of the roads in Rundu right now, I'm sure the department that could not receive money right now is NATES, which is the road fund. But then why is it that the road fund still collects money up to date? It's because people actually respect more the luxury they get with their cars. Otherwise, road fund supposed to be the one not to receive any funds right now. But then that specific thing that people are exchanging with their livelihoods, with the luxury they have in their cars, it is why road funds still receive money up to date. Otherwise, road funds could not receive any money at the moment due to the condition of the roads that are there. It is true, for council to collect money, Rundu Town Council must make sure that a resident deep in the location is reachable, and this specific resident is able to go to town council and settle his dues without any problem. I cannot happily pay for my dues when I cannot even go to town council in peace. I might get stuck in the way going to pay. I mean, will I be happy if I get stuck on my way going to pay for water? This is where things went wrong. Many people have told themselves, no, for me it's better I don't pay because of this and that. But then these people were never engaged by the town council, whereby the town council is supposed to note down why is this person frustrated that is making him or her not to pay for their dues. This and this. It means we as a council need to come through in order for us to make sure that the service is up to standard and people continue to pay without any termination. So there have been a point where people decided not to pay. That's why the residents owe town council that much. If that could be watched, I don't think we could have a problem. So it's high time for town council to reach the people. Let them go out, talk to the people, see how they can solve their problem. I think that will be a first step of a way forward. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much for that. Jerry?
Yes, I'm glad we are on the with that conclusion there, my brother, Mr. Kanjilu. Community outreach, are most important thing that we should have in this town. I feel that the PR department in the council itself is doing minimal to actually engage the residents, sensitize the residents, and then at least just make the resident feel part of this council's operation. We should all be at par, but then currently where we are now, we are hostile. The resident and the town council are enemies while they are supposed to be working together. Reason why is that we do not have a bridge. We do not have people that have supposed to reach out to us and sensitize information to us, try to make us be part of their operation. You see, community meetings should not be about political rallies. Community meetings should be about developmental issues that is happening in the town. Each and every residential area should have a hall where we meet and then discuss. This is what is hindering our residents. This is what is hindering our town. This is what is hindering. We shouldn't have these meetings only when we are campaigning. You get me? So that is some of the things that we should start looking at, and I applaud my brother for saying that. So going forth, until the town council realize that we, the stakeholders, the residents, are part of their operation, that's the only way we can be able to be. Because people will be resistant to paying your debt if you are not in good terms. Even if I took your things in good terms, I borrowed shoes or hair from you, but it's because you want to show me that you are the one and I'm just a peasant there. I might become hostile towards you approaching me to pay you back. You understand? So we must mend our relationship, and then that's the only time I feel we can be able to go forth. Even the issue of Red Force, I think even if they were to explain it to the resident further, the people would not be hostile towards this whole idea that was brought forward. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be beneficial to all of us. And the council must be able to open the books and tell us money that is being collected is being used like this and like this and like that. Because people cannot keep on paying for services but not knowing where these things are going. That's why people are reluctant into actually going into the council's dealing, because they don't know what the council actually do. We only know that they pay for water, but who's supposed to put street bulbs? We don't know. Who's supposed to put street lights? We don't know. So the council must open up and have not only accountability, but what is that word called? Yes, it's a word that I forgot. But they should have that transparency. They should have that, because if we don't have that, then it's gonna be a problem.
Transparency.
People
Okay.
are continuously going to be hostile. Yeah. Yes, that's
Absolutely.
my take
Okay.
so far.
Great, gentlemen. All right. One more thing before we go. Now, for years, we have seen that, there's no transparency in the council. There's no accountability in the council, and obviously, these people are not even coming to us as residents to give us information on what is happening in the council. Now, what should we do as residents? What should we do to make sure that, because it seems like no matter how we talk, they will not come to us and give us the information they want. So what should we do then to make sure? You mentioned about mending our relationship and so on. Which ways or should we take in order to mend relationships so that we get the information? Because it seems like if we keep talking and talking and talking and talking, these people never ever come to us. It has this now. So what do we do then? How do we make sure they give us that information that we need to know? I don't know if you heard me,
My brother
gentlemen.
Kanjilu?
No, I
Yes,
heard you. I heard
I
you
heard
clearly.
you.
So
Okay.
when leaders have statements without actions of saying they have open door policy, which I think they don't understand it themselves. I think that is where we need to start from. When you say you have a open door policy, it means you are receptive. You are open to receive ideas from people. So, for instance, if I stand up right now and go see a certain person that's supposed to be responsible for something, I should only do that if we if they start with community outreach and making sure that they come out of their shells to say, I am responsible for this. If you have any problem, you can reach me at any time. But due to the failure that have been there, these colleagues are hiding like nobody's business, but yet they want money from people. So people should be able to visit their office openly and engage with them. For instance, as we are having this discussion, I think it will not be wrong if if you can actually even assign us, we can still communicate these things straight to the mayor of the town. But the question still lies on the issue of, are they able to take it or not? They need to be ready themselves first. That is how we need to engage these people. People are lying down at sleeping with
Or we should perhaps
ideas that
bring
could
them on the
develop this
platform.
town. Yeah, I think I should end here.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
All right, Jerry.
Mm.
Jerry is frozen. I don't know if it's the network, if we are going to lose him. I have no idea what's going on. Jerry, can you hear us? Oh my God.
I think the
Namibian
mic
network
is.
also. Should we say Rundu network? I don't know. So in other words, we should also bring them on a platform like this. I started with
Yeah.
you, gentlemen. If possible, if everything works, we could bring them on a platform like this so that they can, explain to us what exactly is going on. Because it seems like we as the residents, even though we do have access to them, but it's not easy to get them to open up, to be
Yes.
transparent and say what exactly is going on. So that means that there's something, there is a hidden agenda somewhere, like there's something that is happening. That is why they cannot open up. I thank you very much. Everybody has left us and we have gone beyond our time. This was just supposed to be an hour, but I can see it's 10 minutes past 8 now. Thank you very much, Mr. Kanjilu, for coming. Thank you very much to Jerry and all our viewers that have been here contributing and asking questions. I appreciate you so much for coming on this platform. It was the first of its kind, and I believe it went quite well. We hope to have more of this kind of discussions in the future. So I appreciate you for your contribution and have a great evening.
No, thank you very much.
All right.
I remain grateful.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you.
So guys, there you have it. There you have it. We have had our discussion. For those of you, my fellow content creators that were here, who would probably not know what was going on, but we were discussing about the development town, Rundu town in the northern east of Namibia, which is the capital city of Kavango East. The Kavango regions have been divided into two parts. It used to be one, which is Kavango. So then Rundu was the capital city of the whole Kavango region. But now that it's divided into two towns, so we have Kavango East, where Rundu is based, and then we have Kavango West, where Nkurenkuru is. So on this platform, every evening, Sunday evening from 7 to 8, we will be discussing issues pertaining the development of the Kavango region, as we see that something some way is not being done, because we see that the development is the gentleman on the right. I am not an expert. In the future, I hope to bring in the people So I don't know why my internet keeps failing. I don't know why my internet keeps failing. So somebody somewhere is not doing their job. If somebody somewhere is not doing their job, who is supposed to be making sure or overseeing that that person is not doing their job? So from the conclusion, I see that people are not accountable. They are only interested in speaking to the community. When it's time for election, that's when they go to the community, campaign, and tell the community what it is that they will bring about if they are elected into power. But after they are elected, they neglect, their job. For as long as they are getting their bread, that's all that matters. They don't go back to the community. They only go back again during the time of election. Then something is absolutely wrong. Something is wrong. There is no transparency. People don't know anything. One of my panelists mentioned that do we know who is responsible for the road? Do we know who is responsible for water? Do we know? We don't know this information. But the people that we've elected in power, even though they've promised that there's going to be accountability, believe me, accountability and transparency is one of the favorite words of people who campaign for election. They'll always come to the community and say, I promise to bring transparency, to be accountable. But once they get in power, are they accountable? Are they transparent? No. They don't come back to the community to explain, because a lot of people do not know these things. We do not know these things. I'm only coming up with this now. It's not that I've only observed it now. I've been observing it. But because you don't know where to start, you don't know what questions to ask until at this point, But whose responsibility is it to make sure that the people that elected them in power know what is going on? If they can't do it, then what is preventing them from doing it? Unless there are a whole lot of skeletons in the closet. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining my live stream. This is where I end. In fact, I've gone beyond my time. I've gone beyond my time. I'll bring you another one again, another interesting topic again on Sunday, same time, same place. For me, your girl Ceci, until next time in my next video. Bye-bye, and thank you very much for joining me. Ndali says, thank you, Ceci. Your effort will never go unnoticed. Thank you very much. I hope that you share this. Let it reach whoever it's going to reach, because I feel like the gentleman really shared some insights, Let it reach the people that are responsible. Share it on your Facebook, share it on your WhatsApp. Let them hear this. Hopefully next time I'll be able to bring them on the platform. Thank you very much. I love you guys, and good night.